Welcome back in the videos, and we have been doing lots of them, but in series of these videos, this one will be shocking to truly the 10 most, and definitely the 10 most, strangest countries in the world. Number 10, North Korea. How is it strange? Because big 2, 3, all the way up to, you guessed it, 10. It remains the 10th on a low spot, only really because it is isolated from the rest of the world. And why is it weird? Because Kim, what the heck, they had crazy hair. And North Korea's government is one of the last surviving, really communist, as you would say, but order to spread its communism, it would have to spread around the rest of the world. And that was a problem, because Brian laughs always. Okay. And this thing of North Korea, Brian said he never laughs. He did laugh well. And Brian, and North Korea's isolated vein made it not that big a real power, except it had one of the most secret places in the world, partly done by Kim, and would be room 39. Okay, 2. You have had a minute. 9. You have seen a lot of weird countries. Do you think these countries have to be bigly isolated or not isolated? Well, when you see a country, you can't say Russia as not weird, because it is. Its power had involved. Okay, this is a weird thing that is a little twisted weird. Because Putin is very powerful and has pretty much and as any government except the communist really deep regime today, but it had a crazy government when it was communist. And even crazier than the North Korea or China-like communism. China is resorted to communism, capitalism, and we see Russia as one of the biggest and most weirdest. Why? Because this country of, shall we say, Russia has been extremely idea to be powerful with its powerful leaders. From up to it, it has the most powerful leaders in the world. And its most powerful leader, Vladimir Putin, Joseph Stalin killed. It's just so much crazy violence and power that makes it a weird country. Even though the United States may be on this list, it's not a weird country, but kind of a vain country. And 8. Some people are supposing I'm going to say the United States or Cuba. I will say Cuba. But from Lenin words, there is no doubt that the United States is a very crazy country. What the heck? With its 4th of July thing. But this crazy to Americans is good crazy. In some ways it is good crazy. But there is bad crazy. Like, who cares about crazy? Okay, people have been so mad at the United States government that 9/11 happened. And what the heck is this George of all this United States? But the United States of America has remained in a little good crazy. It's hamburgers, and some people do get crazy. Do you know France smokes a lot? The United States, along with France, the smokers. Within days, we have the last president who smoked was definitely these ideas. But about the whole issue of conservative and progression, it says to be 8 is definitely that one. Because it has a lot of instinct, and number 8 is definitely going to be the United States, but it remains a crazy, also because of the Civil War bloody population. and remains personal attacks. And 7. No one knows who it is. Some people are going to say I'm going to run for Cuba. No, I'm not. I'm not definitely going for England or the England. England, United Kingdoms, whichever, is both a very, very weird country. Which its weirdness is unstable because the rich history of England and its fancy, they are acting like fancy, 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 and its national spirit. Since really its royalty hasn't died off, there is still a king and queen, and there is only a few countries to even have a king and queen. Well, it's mostly dying off, king and queen. We've had king and queens really since the first, for the ancient histories in minds, and they're one of the last, like Queen Elizabeth II. And I can't wait for all the royalty to get too much untamed because England is weird, not because it's a weird country in general, is because it does have a large alcohol nation, but that's not weird. It counts as its kind of power and the fact that they still have a queen and king. Well, there's not a king right now, but it's said to be Prince Charles the next, but not for very long. And 6, you have to say one of the most generalist and one of the most efficient real-time powers, China. Okay, can you say China as a real-time power in general? No. But this thing, actually, yes, because that was a lie. No, you can say it in big ways because China has a very big population. Its crazy things is because military rules part of the country. It has a remaining of smidge communism left into its seriously. So China remains bigger than North Korea, but it has a tiny bit and a little better than its bad crazy, a little smidge crazy. Okay, China, yes, has been one of the biggest real-time powers, and that gains it as crazy. Why? Because its military rules its country, and that's probably it. But that it's even crazier. This whole country of China that merges power within its states, it made powerful People Republic. And Mao Zedong was a fornical leader who killed his own citizens. And you can't say China's government is still like this today. But it has another reason is because it has a relationship with another crazy country and a lot of other relationships with another crazy country that goes back to the crazy country that goes back to the crazy country. And also it's crazy because its air conditionings are so bad you just breathe in there once or twice. No clean air. It's worse than France. And 5, you get Cuba. Cuba has been a crazy country for big generations. And can you say not Cuba? No. Because that would be wrong, and that would be so wrong because you can't say that. You just extremely can't say that. Can you believe that that would be an instinct? No, you can't say that. But throughout the years, Cuba has remained a big thing, and Baja is one of the biggest. With Fidel Castro's reign on power and its thing, it doesn't really remain a big thing. It has a lot of things of power, and with the Soviet Union that already collapsed, and these ideas are big because can't you see this land is weird? Well, I can see it very clearly. And it basically remains that for the last years. And 4, you guessed it. Did you really guess it? Because I'm not sure you did. Israel. What the heck? Israel is a bad country. Israel's a bad country. I can do this. Let me get back in the middle. See, Israel's a bad country. And how Israel is a bad country is a remaining standard because of its relationship with another crazy country, the United States, but more importantly because it's a bad country. It's an extremely fascist evil that died. It's pretty much a big nation, but people were pretty good, and they didn't like their government, and that's the good part of the government, because there is no good part, and the people are not part of the government. So boo it, and it's bad, and that kind of counts as crazy because it does crazy things that you can't imagine, like North Korea or things. Okay, and 3, closer down to crazier, is the final 3, and who gets more crazier than 1, 2, 3, and it's Antarctica. No, that's a continent. I mean, do you mean Antarctica? I know it's a continent and it's all fished down, but if it's a continent, there has to be a little country in it. Only a tenth of its population. But Antarctica remains a big disfortune of coldness, and you would die not even an hour on the shores. And it's the coldest. So, really, its gigantic land is a country, also a continent, but no one really knows, and it's bished aside. And 2, even closer, you get up to the most invasion and most extreme great look pain country, which pain and violence mirrors. You're going to say the United States. Well, I already said the United States. Where pain and violence mirrors. Guess it. You can guess it. Guess it. Okay, you're not guessing it. I'm going to give you a big chance for this idea. It is definitely and recordingly Canada. Canada is a crazy country because I spent a minute to say it's a crazy country. It's because it's a crazy country. I can't really explain it. I have to think about it. But Canada gets to my mind only a minute later, and it's a big good thing with Canada. Canada is remained a big crazy country, and is a big country because of its big thing, and there's lots of smokers there. I'm anti-smoking. And the thing about the Canada ideas is because you haven't even seen them. And that hasn't been barely enough. But you Canada, we seen you. And quack quack. Okay. And number 1, the biggest and restoring thing ever, the craziest country ever, is definitely the historically Panama. Panama is the pain country. Why Panama is crazy because it has that canal, but ordinarily it has a big crazy history. It is in the background of most history steps. Why? Because it's really in the background. That makes it super, super crazy. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll show you, and you should subscribe. But if you don't, you are toast.